Right now on Up with KREM, Idaho hospitals say they cannot take any more strain.
We do not see a peak in sight.
This morning, what crisis standards of care means for Idahoans.
And we're going to take you outside, talk cloud cover as we start the day. Temps in the upper 40s now and not getting much warmer the next few days.
Students at Eastern Washington University are returning to campus today with some of the strictest COVID-19 guidelines in the state.
Up with KREM begins now.
Idaho hospitals say they're at the breaking point. Upon the announcement of crisis care standards, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare tweeted that this is a last resort. They say everyone's care will be affected. Good morning and thanks for joining us on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. The crisis care standards for the entire state come a week after they were activated in North Idaho. Right now, hospital beds, ventilators, medicine, and other healthcare supplies will be rationed for people that doctors believe are the most likely to survive. Director Jave Jeppesen explained what the front lines look like in the hospitals right now.
Our ventilator use is at the highest level we've seen so far. As the numbers continue to increase, they continue to increase at an alarmingly fast rate, and we do not see a peak in sight.
Under the current conditions, Health and Welfare says patient transfers may not be feasible. Now, the COVID-19 surge is affecting more than just hospitals in the inland Northwest. Hospice or end-of-life care is also being impacted. The Cook family experienced this firsthand. Bill Cook died from COVID just a couple of days ago, and he wasn't vaccinated. His family requested hospice care. Because of short staffing, his family took care of him themselves before he died. Bill's son is now begging the community to get vaccinated.
It's not a personal choice when you infect somebody who doesn't want to be infected. If you're going to be part of the public, and you choose not to wear a mask, you choose not to get vaccinated, then I'm going to be really harsh here. Stay out of our hospital. Stay out of the hospital because you're taking up space for people that need desperately some help.
Bill was 87 years old. In his final days, he requested to be with his family and not at the hospital. Now, Providence Chief Medical Officer says because of limited staffing, it's challenging to provide end-of-life care for patients.
We're to the point now where we're so stretched with specialty physicians and nurses, as well as social workers, chaplaincy that provide end-of-life care, that we're struggling to provide, care in the face of death and dying, which is a critically important piece of the whole paradigm of care. And so we're using everybody everywhere that we can.
Now, taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning, today, leaders at the FDA are expected to vote on a recommended booster shot for Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. Now, studies have suggested a third Pfizer or Moderna dose could offer significant protection against serious COVID-19 illnesses. So to learn more about crisis standards of care and what this will mean for COVID patients in our area, you can text the word COVID to 509-448-2000. We'll send you the very latest information that we have right to your phone. All right, the time is now 6:31. Let's go ahead and take a look at the forecast as people are getting ready to head out the door this morning for work or for school. You might want to bring a coat with you, at the very least, a light jacket. Jeremy Legoo is in the Outdoor Weather Center. And Jeremy, wait, you had on your coat earlier. I guess it's warmed up a little bit out there?
Sometimes puppies want to go out now and they don't want to wait for you to get your coat. That's honestly what happened. So it's still a little bit chilly out here. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. And yeah, I got the puppy out here. Oh, you can actually see him. Hey, don't eat that. And we're going to sit at 47 under mostly cloudy skies as we move through the next about hour or so. These clouds mean that we don't get too cold in terms of morning temperatures, but they also mean that we stay cooler or mild or wherever we wind up dropping to just a bit longer. 44 in Coeur d'Alene and 36 up in Sandpoint, where you didn't have some of that cloud cover to start the day. You had your temperatures drop quite a bit more, and that was places like Sandpoint and over toward Newport, Priest River in the middle. You also felt those temperatures down in the 30s. and likely going to stay there a little bit longer as that cloud cover moves in and takes over. When it comes to the moisture, we see a little bit in northeastern Washington this afternoon, and that's really about it. A bulk of this gets sucked out by the Cascades today. Tomorrow's when we get our big widespread push of rain, and at times it could be a little bit heavier across the region. It eventually moves out, then it's on and off showers all weekend long as our storm moves directly over the top of us here in the inland northwest. And when it comes to today, today's dry and cool, temps in the mid 60s later this afternoon. The real rain arrives tomorrow, and along with that comes some cooler temperatures. This weekend, we likely stay in the 50s for most of it. Hitting 60 is going to be hard pressed, and we're talking rain across much of the region.
It's an exciting day for EWU students as they are moving into the dorms this morning. Nicole Hernandez is live there to explain what the university is doing to keep students safe all semester long. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, Channing. Like you said, move-in day is happening. The students will have all weekend to get into their dorms, settle in, and then be ready for classes, which are starting up on Wednesday here at EWU. The university says that 960 students are moving in over the course of today and yesterday as well, and all of them will have to take a rapid COVID-19 test before starting their move-in process. If a student tests positive for COVID, they will have to go to specific isolation dorms for 10 days, or they can choose to go back home to isolate for those 10 days. EWU is also asking everyone to show proof they're vaccinated. If a student isn't vaccinated, staff will help them either ask for a religious or medical exemption, or they will help the student get their vaccine ASAP. If an unvaccinated student isn't working with the university, they could get a $250 fine. Of course, all of those logistics are to make sure students stay safe and can have class in person. When we talked to EWU president last month, when the first wave of Eastern Washington students were starting here, he said that, well, he's been talking to students that most of them are totally okay with and up for these protocols and COVID-19 regulations, because really they're just excited to have in-person classes and have a more normal fall semester. Live in Cheney, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
The time is now 6:35, time for your morning rush. More news in less time. A campfire ban has been lifted for Olympic and North Cascades National Parks. Visitors are still being asked to take fire safety precautions. Fire officials say the decision to lift the ban comes as we're expecting significant rainfall and cooler weather. The Biden administration says federal protections may need to be restored for gray wolves in the western U.S. This is in response to hunting laws in Idaho and Montana. Wolf packs have been blamed for attacks on livestock along with deer and elk herds. Idaho approved a measure earlier this year that would allow up to 90% of the wolves in that state to be killed. Airway Heights is hosting the national championship for dirt kart racing this weekend. The race will take place at Sunset Speedway at the Spokane Motorsports Complex. Over 40 of the nation's top teams will be coming to Spokane to compete in the race. Now that's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. This morning, we are honoring Hispanic Heritage Month on Up with KREM. After the break, Latinos in Spokane joins us live to talk about their push to get the community vaccinated.
And we talked about this weekend's widespread showers across the inland northwest. When it comes to our ongoing drought, this likely kicks off a series of improving updates. So we'll talk about what that means for all of us after the break.
This morning, we want to give a huge shout out to one of our Up with KREM producers, Grace. This is going to be her last morning on Up with KREM because for whatever reason, she's decided to leave the inland northwest and move to Austin, Texas, I guess, to work for our sister station there. Now, Grace will still be working on the mornings, so we want to wish her all of the luck in the world and, of course, tell her that we're going to miss her so very much. Good luck, Grace.